Go. All right, today we're proceeding on with removing the damper from the front of the engine. This isn't a harmonic balancer that's on the front. It's actually a friction type damper. It's 3 pieces. In removing the 3rd piece from the crank so that I can get to the timing marks, it was kind of special. You have 2 threaded holes. I tried using a 2-hole puller first and realized that I had probably 700 pounds of pull on there, and it was not moving. So what I decided to do was to push it off instead. The threaded holes go all the way through and line up with the crank gear on the back side. So what I did is I took a scraper that was fairly solid and put it behind. So I stuck this between the bolt and where it contacts the actual sprocket behind it. So then here, with less than 100 pounds, you can actually pull this off. So on the other side, I only had the 1 scraper, but I had a real thick scraper here that's like a putty knife. So I can stick this in from the back side, and then as long as you turn these evenly, you're actually pushing this gear off of the crankshaft. You're pushing it from against the actual sprocket behind it. So if you just keep turning your bolts together, you're actually pushing this off. You can see it's already moved 1/8 of an inch here in just a short little time. I didn't want to push directly on the gear behind it, the sprocket gear, just not knowing how much pressure it was going to take. So now that I know, it's not that big of a deal. Plus, once it starts moving, it starts taking less and less force to get it off. But this appears to be a really good way to get this off of here. My friction plate on mine has some problems. Some of the holes have worn through where the springs actually rest. So we're going to be looking at trying to fix our friction plate. So that'll be something in an upcoming. But what I'll do there is I'll actually weld the holes shut and then machine them back out so that they have a ledge in there that your spring sits on. So I actually will machine that ledge back in. So this is coming off really well here. Just want to make sure your bolts have enough thread on them to get you all the way to the end of this. This is a 3/8 fine thread. I'm using a grade 8 hardened bolt also. I didn't want to be in a situation where for any reason my bolt would strip out or stretch or bend or anything like that. The grade 8 bolt, you don't usually have too many of those kinds of problems. So we are just about completely off here. We're to the point where you can definitely see how my scraper is pinched between the bolt and that. That'll help disperse that load on the gear itself. So anyway, now we'll go ahead and conclude this here, and we'll finish pushing this off. And once this thing is off, we'll start back up and kind of go through the timing marks and everything on here, make sure everything is set. So, but we're just going to keep working this off until it's completely out.